not beer, Topo Chico. Whew, man, it has been a cool minute since I've sat down here and just like talked and given anyone an update on anything about anything other than a few videos here and there. If you've been on this channel, this little old channel for a little while now, I used to upload regularly every single week, sometimes a couple of times a week, but mostly every single week, once a week. And then in the last really chatty video that I did, man, last year, quite a few months ago, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I gave an explanation as to why I took a break, and I haven't talked again recently about anything. And I don't know, I was just feeling like today maybe just sitting here getting ready. It's Easter Sunday, springtime. So I thought today I'd do a vintage inspired look while I get ready for this beautiful Easter Sunday and update you guys on what has been going on, what has been happening, if anybody even cares to know. I always feel weird about doing these because I'm like, my channel's so small, who am I even talking to? Especially when I'm filming it, when I'm like right here by myself in my room, and I'm just like, what am I even saying? But I know that there's a few of you out there who like really care and are my friends. I've made friends, so that's why I think I still keep doing this. I've made quite a few friends on here, and like true friendships, and other people that, you know, that I always love saying just hi to and chatting with. And so there's a tiny community here, and I love that, and I guess that's why I'm doing this. So, you know, some good old chillin' and chisme time. What's the updates? Oh yeah, and it's a get ready with me. I don't want to just talk away and not get ready. I guess the very first update is that, if you haven't noticed already, I have a friend on my shoulder. Yeah, say hello. Say hello, Papa. Say hello. I look like a freaking pirate. He's pretty shy. This is, his name is Pickles. Well, we think he, the pet store told us that it was most likely a boy, so we're going with he, but he is really shy. As you can see, he's quite a little baby still. We got him when he was like 3 months old, and we've had him for like about a month now, so he's around 4.5 months. So he's a youngling. Pickles, come on, baby. He is very young, very shy still. He's a little bit timid and feisty. He's a lovebird. I don't know, I can't remember if I just said that, but he's a lovebird. He's just been getting used to us, really. Growing up as a little kid, I had lovebirds, and so, man, Pickles, it's really hard to talk about you when you're not like appearing on camera, but you can see him through my hoop right there. He's on my left side. Like I was saying, I grew up with lovebirds, so I love lovebirds. I had a couple. I had one in particular that I loved so much. His name was Peaches. And so I don't know what, just kind of, I've been thinking about getting a bird, and I've been watching a lot of like bird videos on Instagram of cute little birds with their Instagram pages. Famous Instagram or Instagram famous birds. And I don't know, Mason never had a bird, so he was curious. And then one Sunday we just woke up and we were like, hey, let's just go to the pet store and, I don't know, check them out. We're not gonna buy anything, we're just gonna look. As you know, that is a very dangerous move. Never really works, especially with pets, at least with me, when I say I'm just gonna go look. And so yeah, we were just like, we're just gonna go look, and that obviously didn't happen. We went to go look, and they only had one of his kind, so there's like 9 different species of lovebirds apparently, and he's the one with the, they call them rosy-cheeked or rosy-faced lovebird. They have different names, or peachy-faced lovebird, which is green with the blue tail and the orange. Oh, look, he's trying to grab onto my hair. They have the orange face, green body, and a blue tail. I don't know if you can see his blue tail. Yeah, kind of right there. So they have a blue tail, so I really love those because those are the ones that I grew up. And then they have some with like red beaks and other different species. So they had like 2 other species there. And he was the only one of his kind that they had. And the other, they had like a few different pairs, and usually lovebirds, like, you know, as their name suggests, like they like having a pair or a mate, so they pair up in 2s. So he was in a big cage with a bunch of other birds, and the 2 pairs that were in there were being mean to him, and they were like, he was trying to like go play with them or eat with them, and they were like not having it. Everyone was just kind of picking on him and pushing him down like at the bottom of the cage, and my heart just broke, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot just leave him here. The other birds are bullying him, and they weren't attacking him or anything. He wasn't in like a, you know, like being mistreated or in a bad pet store or anything like that. But he was obviously like, nobody really wanted to be his friend, at least not from that moment where I saw him. Maybe he just had like a falling out or something. I'm totally going off tangent right now. Maybe he had a little birdie falling out with the other birdies. And so I was just like, I cannot leave him there. They're being mean to him. They're picking on him. The other birds, they all have their mates, their best friends, and he's a baby all by himself. So yeah, I was like, I just started asking questions about him, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take him. So it's been interesting. The dogs, Charlie and Ozzy, they're still around. They're okay. They stay away from him because, I mean, obviously you can't trust dogs with birds, but when I take them out, they do stare at him. Especially Ozzy is like in love with him and has taken particular interest in him and just wants to stare at him all day. I don't know if he wants to try to eat him or not, but he seems to be very in love with him because he'll just like sit by his cage and look at him. I mean, he hasn't like tried to attack him or anything. So I don't think he wants to kill him, I hope. But he has a lot of interest in Pickles, and Charlie's more like, he was really scared when he first saw him, and now he's just more like indifferent and just stays away from him, which is good. How am I doing my eyebrows? Am I just going with thick regular old eyebrows? I'm gonna do a 60s inspired look. 60s, 50s looks always feel more springy to me, springtime-ish, than like 40s, which is my favorite, for example. So I'm feeling springy. So I'm feeling like a spring-inspired 60s look. And so yeah, Mr. Pickles has been making me really happy. And why did we name him Pickles? Well, because he's green. Pretty obvious. I think my mom came up with the name. We were in the car driving back and we were like, what do we want to name him? We were like, oh, jalapeno. We like food names for birds. We were like, oh, jalapeno, cucumber, pickles. We're like, oh yeah, Pickles, that's kind of cute. Whether he's a boy or a girl, it just kind of fits him. In his little sour, pickly personality. He's a sweetheart. He's just scared, and you just have to, with lovebirds, give them a lot of time. They all have different personalities, and depending on how they're raised. He was supposed to have been hand-raised, and he is hand-raised, but I don't know how the handling was like towards the end when we got him from the pet store, so maybe something there happened. I mean, they're very delicate creatures, and like one incident, if you try to grab them wrong or scare them or something, they will fear, and it takes them a while to like get used to you again, or humans. And so I think he just needs a little space, but we're trying to give him as much space and time, and we sing to him and dance. Mason and I sing and dance for him and play music. He loves music, like, you know, most of these birds do, which is pretty cool. I'm not getting up for my eyelash curler. I'm too lazy, so whatever, no eyelash curling. And what else? I have overall been good. In my last video, a lot of you were like, we missed you. I think it was like 5 months or so since I last uploaded, around like the holiday time. Man, time sure does fly. And I've been okay. I've just, you know, to be quite frank with you, quite honest, I kind of just lost interest. So like I was saying in the beginning, my last update video, I think it was titled, I had a breakdown. Yeah, I had a breakdown, and I have still just been kind of healing and rethinking, and everything like that has been like my life, I guess, like of interest, rethinking my life and rethinking everything. And I've kind of lost interest for a little while there in doing this. It's a lot of work, and I just didn't have the energy or the motivation, I guess. I mean, I've been doing this channel for like it'll be 5 years later this year. I stopped like around 4 years. And you know, like it wasn't a priority, even though like I missed it. And I think I was putting a lot of pressure on myself still, even though I had told myself multiple times that I wouldn't. But it's kind of hard to, you know, get off the like routine, especially uploading all the time. So I really missed, you know, like creating and being creative. But at the same time, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm gonna do a crease. I don't know how well I'm gonna do it, given that I'm not really paying attention right now to what I'm doing because I'm talking, and it's hard to talk and do your makeup. Yeah, and also like in the middle, you know, this channel's fashion, and it tends to lean towards like the fashion theme and DIYs and doing things like that. And so I just wasn't like, I haven't been inspired to do any of that, you know, combined with like me going through like a an emotional, you know, breakdown and being exhausted and not motivated and in the middle of a pandemic. I'm not the only one. I'm sure you've heard it from other people. I've had some friends who create content and that they're like, you know, we're burnt out and like we don't feel like it. Like for what? To just sit in my, usually when I do get ready with me or stuff, it's like to go to Disneyland, which I haven't been able to do, or go to a party or something. I usually try to base my like my videos with a purpose, right? Like I don't always like just getting ready to like sit down and not do anything. And I don't make money off of this channel, you know, like really, well, I make a little bit of money, but it's like a few dollars a week, maybe, or $1 or $2. And so it's like, you know, it's not my source of income, so I don't have that motivation there either. Not that that's, you know, what's the most important to me, but I don't have that source of motivation either. Like I'm not trying to make bread and a living out of this. So yeah, but I had a breakdown and I don't know that I'm ready to fully talk. I was pretty vague in that video where I'll let you guys know what I went through, and I'm still healing from it. I'm doing much better. I'm in a much better place. I'd say like about 80% better, but with these things, some days are better than others. But I guess what I'm trying to say, I forgot what I was saying, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, given the year that we've been living through, I didn't have a reason to, and everything, or the motivation with everything that I've been going through, the motivation from that perspective either to create. I went through some pretty heavy stuff still last year. It's taken a long time. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I feel like I'm about 80% better. Some days are different than others. But and I'm not ready to talk about the details and everything, but I can say that I went through some pretty bad anxiety and depression. And it was like, and it was like nothing that I've ever experienced before. I think I've opened up here about dealing with anxiety and like feelings of helplessness in the past, and those types of things are normal to have. Like everybody feels like that, and I had those things, and I was feeling a little bit burnt out about certain stuff. But this is completely different. I had like an existential crisis, I guess you can say. I like how I'm just like doing my makeup and so nonchalant about it. I had an existential crisis, but it was a pretty big deal. Like I went through some heavy stuff last year, and I kind of just questioned everything, every aspect of my life. And yeah, I don't know that I want to talk about all the details right now yet, but it's still kind of hard and I'm still processing it. So yeah, I don't know. It still kind of hurts sometimes to even think about it. And the experience itself, I mean, going through something like that is difficult, but the experience itself was also particularly difficult for me because I never considered myself like a depressed person, a sad person, a super anxious person. Like, yes, like I said, I've had those things and those things are normal, but it was not something like going through something like this very heavy was not something that was expected for me. Like, I'm a really happy person. And I think that, I mean, I'm not always happy, but I think I'm an overall generally happy, positive person, and I turned into something else. And so that kind of gave me a little bit of PTSD, like the whole experience, like, oh my gosh, like how could this be happening to me? And I wanted to so desperately go out through it. And I went through like some really traumatic stuff as part of like this whole experience. So, double whammy, you know, and being locked up all the time and not being able to see anyone and having not like the same distractions as before made it even worse. So it's been a hard year for everyone. I don't want to be like, woe is me and my life sucked, but it's a pretty crappy time to go through that. But also, what better time to go through this if you had like a cup that was already filling up and overflowing, add a pandemic to that, and you just like, it was bound to happen. And I know that's why so many people have been experiencing, you know, like mental health and emotional, you know, crisis and issues this past year, right? Because we're like on this pressure cooker. So yeah, but I'm healing. I think one of the things that really got to me is that one of the doctors told me that this was like permanent. Is not the way she said it, but it's like, yeah, it's just something that you have for the rest of your life, and some people just get it. And I was like, this cannot be. And like in the middle of a crisis, I'm like, you tell that to someone? I was like, you're telling me this is it? Like I have to live like this forever? And so that really like upset me and made things a lot worse. But thankfully I found therapy with this company. They're online and they're actually in Mexico, so all my therapy is in Spanish. Who doesn't believe in that, and who doesn't believe something like anxiety and depression has to be permanent and something that you have to deal with forever. And so that's really been helping me a lot. They're in Spanish, and I know most of my viewers are in English. I was in the middle of speaking. I don't know where you dropped me off. But this company believes in healing from these situations permanently. And so that really gave me a lot of comfort and reassurance. And I just, yeah, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of people these days glorify, and it's like a trendy topic to have to deal with these things. And I understand that talking about it is one thing, and I'm so glad that we do and that we're normalizing it, but it kind of bothers me that people think it's cool and that it's like meme worthy and stuff. And I don't know, everybody has like their ways of coping, but I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cool or trendy. I think it's serious and it should be dealt with. And I think that most importantly, you can heal from it. You don't have to be like this. Like some people just make it their brand, I feel like. And I kind of fell into that, and it was like, no, like I don't want to be that person. And like, being so weak at that moment, I got really scared, and I was like, no, like seeing people that make it their brand was very hurtful for me. And like, I was super weak, like I said. So part of the reason is that, and I was like, I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't want to be a sad person all the time, and like, or dealing with breakdowns all the time. And I don't understand what the lure is. Like, maybe people are trying to be more relatable or something, I think is what it is. And I get it. And in a certain way, I respect it. But I don't think it's just a complicated subject. And I don't want to criticize people. But my point is that I think you can heal and live free. That's not to say that you won't have ups and downs in life, like we all do. But not in a way that it bothers you the way it was bothering me so heavily. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But anyways, one day I will maybe talk about more in detail. Like I said, I'm still not ready, and it's still like kind of a traumatic experience, and it kind of hurts. And I took that video down, the breakdown one, because it was just hurtful to just even, it was hurtful to even just see it there. I didn't want to see it. Like, I don't know. It's private, and I just didn't want to see it on my channel. At first I was like, I'm happy to be sharing it with you all. But then I was just like, you know what? I just want to move past this right now. I want to move past this, and I don't want it to be a part of who I am. And I don't know if any of what I'm saying is absolutely making any sense at all. Hopefully I haven't lost most of you. Work is still work. I'm still working for Disney. And a lot of my troubles had to do with work too, like my mental health issues. I was furloughed for a while there last year around April. So that didn't help. And then just other stuff that I also can't talk about right now. This eyelash is coming off. I hate to make a chatty video and say I can't talk about it, but I can't talk about that one really right now. But I promise that I will hopefully update those that care someday soon. But yeah, work has been a little bit difficult lately. That's all I'm gonna say. Work has been tough, and I'm back at work now, thankfully. But that was part of what made me spiral too, and didn't help. And I came back to work, but I came back to work late summer, but I was still not well. Damn, it's getting really dark in here. So yeah, the fact that things with work were not and have not been going so great. It's also been kind of crappy. But like I said, I'll talk more about that at another time. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we tie our identity sometimes so much to our work and what we do, and how could we not? Like, it's a big part of our lives, right? We spent most of our days there, or we spent most of our time there, right? During the week, 40 plus hours. Oh my God, this boy just pulled on my hoop earring. How dare you? Contouring my face now because I really have to go, so better get finished with this look. But yeah, we tie our identities to work, and sometimes when things don't go well there, it can really affect us. And I mean, how could we not? I mean, I'm hopeful. It's getting better. The world is getting slowly a little better. There's a vaccine now, or vaccines now, which is great, which by the way, I just got my first one, and I'm so excited. I was able to get some of those extra ones that they have. So I got my first one a while ago, and I'm due for my next one my second dose very, very soon. So that is so exciting. Oh man, Charlie just opened the door. Can you close it for me? Yeah, I'm just trying to stay hopeful, and hopefully as the world gets better, I do too. I'm gonna try not to go too heavy with the lipstick, using my Chocolate Kiss by Besame, a very 70s-ish, late 60s lipstick. Disney's opening up at the end of this month, at the end of April, so that's a plus. And yeah. I don't think that I'm gonna be treating this channel even though I'm feeling better and things go back to normal, I don't think I'm going to be treating this, wow, this is quite a look, this channel the way I used to, you know, uploading regularly. Because one of the things from having gone through this whole thing is that I've just kind of lost interest. Like I said, I used to push myself to do it every single week, and it was kind of like part because in a way I felt I had to, and sometimes I just wasn't inspired, and I felt like I had to. I mean, part of me loved it, but part of me was also like, I wanted this channel to grow so badly. And one of the things that YouTube tells you and that everyone tells you is like, you have to upload regularly, right? To keep your channel growing and people engaged and the algorithms and all this stuff. And so I was kind of like, you know, trying to play the game. And I think one of the things that led me to the breakdown was like, I don't want to do this as regularly anymore. So I don't think not anytime soon am I going back to that. Like, I have work and I have other things to focus on too. Like, if it was my full-time job, it'd be one thing, but it's not, right? Like, I do this on my extra time. So I'm sorry, like, if you like this channel, this is how lazy I was last night, like, to do my hair. I started off by thinking I was going to do the 1940s style with my hair, and so I did the front, and then I was just like, screw this, I'm putting it up in buns and like going with something easier. Yeah, like, I think I'll still create when I feel like it. And I have a few videos that I feel like creating right now and that I will, like there's this one and some other stuff. But yeah, if you want to keep up with me, I always say this, Instagram is probably better. I've been loving Instagram a lot more. Like, it's just easier and more chill and less pressure and short form content, which is, you know, easier to deal with or create, I mean. But even there, I'm not like doing all too much. I don't even know why I did this with my hair. Why did I even curl it if I'm not planning on doing a 40 style? It's like, I just want to do something really, really easy. I don't know what I was thinking of. I mean, because this is not like, these curls are not like really for 60s hair. What was I thinking? Yeah, this is more 60s. Let me do that instead. Yeah, I like that way better. Yeah, so I mean, no. This channel's not going away. Like, I'm just not uploading the way I used to, and I just don't have the time, and I don't want to put that same pressure, and I want to enjoy other things. Like, I was taking away time from my relationship with my husband, from my pets, from myself, from my career, and I don't know that I want to go down that path again for now. Oh, look, now he's coming out. Mr. Pickle Man. I'm not making money off of this. It's not a career. Like, it's supposed to be for fun. And I'm past the point where I'm like, I want this channel to grow so bad. I wanted it for many years and it just didn't. I mean, it grew enough. It's grown, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm super appreciative of like the people who support me. But pushing for hundreds of thousands like I used to be, let's just do this for fun. But Instagram's where you can find me, and I have fun and I get creative on there too. Okay, I'm gonna go change now and put Pickles away. And I will be right back. This is the final springtime look. What else have I been up to? I mean, really, one thing that I did that I was super excited about, and it was during the fall of last year, in the middle of the pandemic and in the middle of going through everything that I was going through, was that I modeled for a makeup company, Viva Cosmetics, which I was super freaking excited that they reached out to me about. Kind of feels braggy to even say it. Nah, it doesn't feel braggy. It just feels weird though, because it's not like I'm a model or anything like that, or that big of a deal. It is a big of a deal for me because I was so excited that they invited me. But you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to be like, ew, I did this. But I did that. And so yeah, I modeled for them and I'm on their website. The look is a little different to what I would usually do for myself, and it feels a little weird to see me like that, but they were going with an avant-garde kind of different style. So I don't feel like it really looks like me, but they launched their brand, I think, or the line in December of like these red lipsticks, and they're a Latina owned company, Viva Cosmetics. I've been following them for a really long time, and they invited me to be a part of their campaign, and I thought that was super exciting. And honestly, I didn't think that I would make it, like I would even be able to do it, because I was not feeling well. But my therapist was like, you know what, like I was like, I feel so bad because in the inside I feel horrible, and like how can I go and participate, and like this is supposed to be something cool for me and like a cool experience, and it's being like tainted with how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And she was like, look, instead of looking at it from that negative angle, she was like, look at it from the fact that I'm going through all this crap. And one day you're gonna look back and look at those pictures and say, you know what, I have been going through all this crap and all these like negative things, but you know what, I made it and I did it and I showed up and I was able to do it, right? I was able to get out of my bed and participate. And I don't know, looking back now, I mean, I'm still not at the end of all of this, but I look at that and it has turned into a better memory and something that's made me happy and proud to have been a part of. So yeah, I don't know, if you haven't, like I said, not promoted, but if you haven't checked them out, you should. They're really cool. They're a cool company and their lipsticks are top-notch, good quality. Hope you guys enjoyed sitting down for the chisme with me, the tea, the latest news, for what, I don't know, I've been up to and what's been going on in my life these whole few months. Lots of other things. Well, actually not too much, given that there's a pandemic and none of us can really update or do too much, but thank you for sitting down and just hearing me ramble and give you all updates for anyone that cares about what's been going on and just sitting and getting ready with me for the 60s-ish-esque look. That is so annoying. I just put on this yellow dress, the hot pink 60s one. I think I showed it on one of my hauls. Doesn't fit me right now. Like, what the heck? I'm like gaining weight right now. Freaking pandemic pounds. Doesn't fit me, but that's okay, whatever. So I just went with this yellow one. Woo! Hope everyone's doing all right. Love you guys. Miss you tons. Yeah, happy Easter. Happy Easter. Thank you for stopping by and just hearing me ramble. Just, you know, overall, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be alive. Happy to have my vaccine. Excited for the second one. Living life with my birdie, my husband, my doggies. Send you guys all a super duper big virtual hug wherever it is that you are in the world. Stay safe. Remember that I love you. And I will see you guys real soon in my next video, whenever that is. Okay, bye.